Dimension 20's Fantasy High was the first actual play I ever watched, and it got me more into the game. It showed me what good players and good DMs could accomplish around a table, and it showed me how fun the game could be. It wasn't about mechanics, it was just about enjoying yourself and playing a character that you loved. I'm not saying that I'm nearly as good at the game as any of the talent that Dropout employs at all, but it just made me want to play the game. And I think that's what an actual play should do. So today I want to give Dimension 20 the flowers and talk about my favorite player characters from each season of Dimension 20. To start off, I do want to talk about the seasons that I have not seen. So I have not seen Titan Takedown. I started the first episode, but I'm not a huge fan of wrestling, so it just didn't grip me like the other seasons have. I have not watched A Court of Fae and Flowers. I do love the Fae. I think it's something that I might like, but the drama aspect of it kind of turned me away from it. I like the more like high fantasy, you fight monsters kind of campaign a lot of the time. I haven't seen Shriek Week because I'm honestly just not interested in watching Shriek Week. It seems like a weaker campaign. It seems like something that I'm just not intrigued by. I watched the trailer and everything. I don't really have interest in the season. If it's a good season, let me know and I'll try to check it out. But it doesn't seem like something I would enjoy as much as most of the stuff I've watched by Dimension 20. I have not seen Mice and Mortar or Tiny Heist, but I am interested in both of them. I just haven't gotten around to them yet. I've heard great things about both campaigns. I've really heard a lot of good things about Tiny Heist. I just need to get to them. I've been kind of busy recently. I've been busy for the last couple of years. So eventually I'll get around to it. I just haven't yet. And then I have not watched Pirates of Leviathan. I started the first episode, didn't get as into it as I was hoping to, and then just haven't revisited that campaign. I am also not caught up with the newest campaign, the Council of Darkness or A Council of Darkness. I don't remember which one it is. I have not really watched any of that yet. Although I really do want to, I just need to free up some time for that. So I do want to get this started with the campaign that started it off for me, which is Fantasy High Season 1. Fantasy High is going to be the only series on this list that gets broken down by season, because the other series, I kind of enjoy the same character throughout all of the seasons. So like Unsleeping City, I have a favorite character for Unsleeping City. Misfits and Magic, I have a favorite character for Misfits and Magic. Fantasy High, I have a different character each season that I would call my favorite. Season 1 of Fantasy High, my favorite character would be Gorgog Thistlespring. I love that he is an orc, a species that is often seen as brutish, but he was raised by fun, loving gnome parents. I love gnomes, first off, but it really flipped that archetype on its head. Is archetype the right word? Let me know if archetype's the right word. But it really flipped that on the head of this guy is just a good person. Like, he has issues as a barbarian because he's not angry enough sometimes, and I love that. The recurring bit in Season 1 where Gorgog asks everyone if they're his dad is hilarious. It's maybe my favorite part of Fantasy High. It's so good. He is really good in Season 2 and 3. I don't want to discount him, but I think Season 1 he really shined. Season 2, I do really like his arc with trying to build the communication device and the moment in the Forest of the Nightmare King that led to that famous sweater that everybody bought, including me, the "It's Gorgog, keep going" on the side of the sweater. I wanted to wear it for this video, but this room that I'm in is much too hot for that right now. This room is not as air conditioned as the rest of the house, which makes it kind of tough when you're recording videos in it, but that's besides the point. In Season 3, Gorgog gets a lot of time to shine with some stuff with the gnomes and the moment in his backyard with the secret agent / police officer. I don't really remember what the title was. Gorgog has incredible moments in Season 3, but like I said, Season 1, I think, is when he really gets the chance to shine. Season 2 of Fantasy High, my favorite character is Fabian, Arameus Seacaster. I feel like Season 2 was built for Fabian. It is such a Fabian-heavy season. He takes some big swings in Season 2, and takes some big losses because of some of those swings. He learned more about himself and became more comfortable being his own person instead of just a shadow of his father. The bit with like the warlocks was hilarious. Chungo Down Bim is both a very funny and very scary NPC, and I love that. Anytime he's on the screen, I cannot stop laughing. I love Chungo Down Bim. He's incredible. Mostly because of what they devolve into. Most of the time, it's Lou just dying of laughter trying to explain what his character does, and I love it. Fantasy High Season 3, my favorite character is Kristen Applebee's. I wasn't as big of a fan of her in Season 1. She was a perfect example of like a kid that had some religious trauma that was still religious in Season 1. But, I mean, I might have struck a little bit too close to home. I grew up very religious. I'm not as into that now. I don't want to get into that. But Season 2, she was very doubtful of where her religion was going. Season 3, she does have a lot of struggles with religion and relationships, and she handles them so chaotically. And that is why she's my favorite character of Season 3. K2 was incredible. The whole Blimey thing and the England thing was just hilarious. I loved the interaction with her family, especially her younger brother. The moment outside of the school with her parents was really funny. That might be my Kristen highlight of Season 3. I loved that. Overall, just a really good character. Ali Beardsley played them so well in Season 3. I was such a huge fan. Now, staying in the same realm of Fantasy High, I want to talk about the 7. Ostentation Wallace was my favorite character in the 7. Mostly because Isabella Warland is just hilarious. She's funny in everything she's done for Dropout. She's funny with the stand-up and improv and stuff that she does on the side. She's just hilarious. I love Ostentatia's family dynamic. I like that she makes jewelry herself to make herself appear wealthier, and that she is self-conscious about the fact that she can grow a beard, even though she's a dwarf, and dwarfs just grow beards. It's normal, because it feels like a very teenager issue to have. Like, she is just insecure on herself because she's in high school. And I mean, I feel like she might feel the most like a teenager in that season. And that's just really impressive. Props to Isabella Warland for that. Crown of Candy, my favorite character has to be Liam. I think it's Wilhelmina. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name for whatever reason. This was almost Amathar as my favorite for this season. But Liam's War Guy arc was incredible. It's my favorite part of the season. The whole disguising himself to look like his targets was hilarious. It made some really good moments in this season. Preston the Pig is probably my favorite familiar in all of Dimension 20. Maybe all tabletop role-playing games. I love Preston. I don't know what it is about that little guy. I love Preston the Pig. And Ali Beardsley just did an incredible job playing Liam. Still a kind of chaotic character. I love a chaotic character. Which leads me into the Ravening War, where my favorite character has to be Bishop Nathaniel. This is a peak chaotic character by a DM. Like, this shows how well Brennan, who's ran most of the games up until this point, can just play a character. He did so well as Bishop Nathaniel. The whole descent into madness throughout the campaign was really well done. His dynamic with the other characters was really interesting, especially Colin Provolone. Like, that was just a really cool interaction. Oh, that led to a lot of really cool interactions in the campaign. I loved Bishop Nathaniel. That has to be my favorite character from that season. In Neverafter, my favorite character has to be Pinocchio. This was a tough choice. He is the most chaotic character, and like I said, I love a chaotic character that's played well. I think there's a line there, but I do love a well-played chaotic character. This was tough between him, Puss in Boots, and Prince Gerard. They're all just such good characters. They are certainly my favorite characters in the season, but I think about them all every so often. Neverafter is just one of my favorite Dimension 20 seasons. They did such a good job with it. And Pinocchio just helps add a lot of levity to a very dark, serious campaign. Like, Neverafter has some very dark moments. It has some very tense moments. There's some serious conversations that come up in that campaign. And Pinocchio is just a funny little guy. The Prince of Shoeborg thing is hilarious. The whole bubblegum and whiskey thing is hilarious. Him falling for the trap that was incredibly obvious and he 100% clocked it was really funny. I don't think that could have been done a better way. And I would be remiss to not talk about the voice that Lou Wilson did for Pinocchio. It was insane to do that high-pitched voice for the entire campaign. He had to have regretted that because that had to have been so hard on like his vocal cords and everything. But I loved the voice that he did from Pinocchio. I don't think the character would have been as funny without it. His interactions with Cricket were also great. I loved the water thing. That was really funny. Overall, just an incredible character from an incredible campaign. If you haven't watched, or I guess listened to Neverafter, if you don't watch the actual plays on Dimension 20, I would definitely recommend this one. I loved it so much. Now, my favorite character for the Unsleeping City has to be Wiki Matsui. Wiki is the perfect example of what a modern-day paladin could be. He's a good guy who is just dedicated to saving people and is just incredibly buff. I like that he doesn't have to wear armor like a traditional paladin, and I think Brennan said it's because he's so muscular that it's just harder to penetrate his skin. I think that's hilarious. I love how naive he is as a character. The whole Santa Claus bit was really funny. The community college bit was hilarious. That was maybe the best thing he could have done in that episode, is bring up the community college thing. It was so funny. The stuff with the sword was really good. His love interest was really interesting. I think this might be my favorite Zako Oyama character. It's up there with one later on this list. It's just incredible. I cannot say enough good things about Wiki Matsui. He's just so great. And the Mr. March thing is really funny too. Next up on this list is a Starstruck Odyssey. My favorite character here is also played by Zach Oyama, and it is Skip Takamori. He's just funny, and I love Zach's voice as Skip Takamori. I think that's really funny after he gets inhabited by the alien. Oof. I guess minor spoiler there. I hit my microphone. I'm sorry about that, guys. So after he gets inhabited by the alien, his voice is just hilarious. Reva is a close second here with her pleasure putty. I think that was really funny. I don't have much to say about these guys because I didn't finish a Starstruck Odyssey. I've started it probably 3 times now. I don't know what it is. I have not finished the campaign. So this is based off of like 4, maybe 5 episodes. I don't know what's wrong with me, guys. We'll get back to it eventually. Next on this list is Misfits and Magic, and I don't think anybody's going to be surprised that my favorite character in Misfits and Magic is Evan Kemp. Evan is truly a masterclass in just a DM being a good player. He gives opportunities for other players to have the spotlight. He has struggles, weaknesses, and quirks. He's a very dynamic character. The broken phone bit is hilarious. He is both funny and tragic. It is hard not to feel bad for Evan Kemp in parts of both seasons and the Christmas special of Misfits and Magic. He's just a tragic character. And I love that he is this kind of terrifying guy. People worship him because they think he's like some dark lord. He is incredibly powerful. He's a bit crazy. He gets into fistfights in parking lots, according to him. He can talk to animals. And he's just awkward. Like, he shouldn't be scary. He's very socially awkward. And I think that makes the character so much better. Evan is just one of my favorite characters in Dimension 20. He is so well done. Going from there into Coffin Run, my favorite character, I think it's pronounced Skring. This is also Zach Oyama's character, and I just love the eating letters bit. It's so funny how every time he's handed like a piece of paper, he just eats the piece of paper. I love it. I don't know why. And Zach describes how absolutely disgusting this man looks so well. It's crazy. You like push into his skin and your finger just sinks and the skin disperses, and he describes it so well. It's insane. Dungeons and Drag Queens, this is a tough one, so I'm going to give it to two characters, Princess Fellhammer and Twyla. I love when a character goes against the norm. And Princess Fellhammer is an orc princess that wears a pink tutu. And I love that. And then I love the invisibility bit with Twyla. I've only seen season 1 of this, so I don't know how the characters progress into season 2, but I loved them all in season 1. Mentopolis, my favorite character, is the Fix. I love random facts, and I don't think a character could have fit Hank Green better than the Fix. I love Hank Green. I watch a lot of his solo stuff. I've watched a lot of interviews with him, and he does such a good job in Mentopolis. He knocked it out of the park. I was very impressed. I know he was a bit nervous. He's talked about it a few times, but he did such a good job as the Fix, and I don't think there could have been a better character for this science guy. Like, he's just a smart guy. In the Gladlands, which is probably the season I've watched most recently, my favorite character was Kokomo. I have never seen My Neighbor Totoro. I've never read the books, but I assume this is what Totoro's like. This character has to be based off of Totoro, right? If it's not, please let me know, because it feels like Totoro, and I have not even seen Totoro. I've said Totoro too many times. Totoro. I love a big, lovable dude, and this is by far my favorite Jacob Raisaki character. He just does such a good job. I love Kokomo. I think about Kokomo. Like, every so often I just get that thought in my head where he's like, Kokomo. I love it. Never Stop Blowing Up, my favorite character, has to be Liv Schuyler, aka Kingskin. This was a tough call between Kingskin and G13. I love both of them. But Kingskin, in multiple parts of the campaign, just crushes enemies to death. And like NPCs to death. Like brute force. Kingskin is obviously based off of Marvel's Kingpin. Like, it's obvious. And I love the character. He is a terrifying boulder of a man that's sometimes sweet in the campaign and is very fluid. If you've seen the campaign, you would know what I'm talking about. He is a very fluid man for being such a big fella. And I also love the trope that Liv is a genius that keeps shoplifting just to kind of feel something. I love that. I think that's such a common thing. I was in gifted classes growing up. I shoplifted so much in high school. I mean, I think there's probably a statute of limitations there, right? So much in high school, and I think it's just a common thing. Like, I knew other smarter kids that were shoplifting in high school. It's crazy. Next, we have Burrow's End, which I think was a surprisingly good season. I didn't expect much from this going in, and it was so well done. I was waiting for every episode to come out. I loved Burrow's End. I cannot choose a favorite for the season. Brennan did an amazing job playing Tula. Somehow felt like he was actually their mom. Erika Ishii does a great job as a grandmother. Jasper plays a stoat that just entered the family incredibly well. Isabella Warland and Siobhan Thompson play siblings really well, and they might be my favorite as a pair for this season. Like I said, it's a very tough call. Viola is really the leader behind the scenes for most of the campaign and did an incredible job as well. Just overall incredible cast. I don't think anybody did poorly. I mean, I don't think anybody really did badly in any season of Dimension 20, but I think this cast, everybody was kind of on par with each other the entire campaign, and I loved that. Next, we have Cloudward Ho, which is a pretty recent season, and my favorite character from this has to be Daisuke Bucklesby. This is my favorite Zakoyama character. I said that Riki Matsui is up there. I think this has to be my favorite Zakoyama character. He feels like a Japanese cowboy. I think he's supposed to be Japanese in this setting. And I feel like samurai and cowboy are kind of similar. So I think it fit no matter what. Ghost Dog is a really good companion. Like, there's a couple of dogs in Dimension 20. This is one of my favorite dogs. I like the bits about people just being in love with Daisuke. It just happens. People just fall in love with Daisuke. I love how much he wants to kill Real Well. It's crazy how often it comes up in the campaign. It is insane. And he tries to a couple of times. Like, it is just such a good bit. I loved this character. This was a tough one because everybody played a pretty good character in Cloudward Ho. I also just love Zach Oyama though. Like, he does a great job most of the time. But Lou's character in this was also incredibly good. He's a close second to Daisuke. And the last season of Dimension 20 I want to talk about is Dimension 20 on a bus. If you haven't seen Dimension 20 on a bus, I think you're missing out. It is maybe DM'd by the best DM in actual plays, Katie Maravich. She just gives so much to her players, you know? She does an incredible job. And I think the best character is probably the Lint, played by Mark Mosser. I understand Matt Mosser is already pretty famous in TTRPGs, but I really think Mark Mosser has what it takes to be an actual play star. I think he would do incredibly well if he just kept it up. I see a lot of potential in him. He's very inquisitive. He wants to know more about the world. He wants to know more about his character. He wants to make sure he's making the right choices. He's helping everybody else. I mean, Mark is just, he's really a treasure. He does a really good job in this season. And like I said, it helps to have Katie there because she supports her players through this new system that she's pretty much spinning up on the fly. I mean, she's revolutionizing D&D. She's making rules that have never even been there and just making them stick. Like, really just a life-changing season of Dimension 20 to watch. If you haven't watched it already, I would highly recommend it. But other than that, those are my favorite player characters from the different seasons of Dimension 20. I hope you liked this. Let me know who your favorite characters are from these different seasons. Let me know if you disagree with any of my takes. It's perfectly fine. I'm used to people disagreeing with me. It's not a big deal. So let me know. Like I said, everybody did well in Dimension 20. I don't have characters I dislike. I mean, everybody does a good job. These are just my favorite out of the batch. And with that, guys, I hope everybody is having an amazing day. And until next time, peace.